There is something about meeting a guy, and from that very first time, and realizing to yourself that he is the one, after all those nasty breakups and cheaters, you have finally found the one. It sounds crazy and unreal, but that's how I felt when I met Edward. I was at this famous club in the city with my friends. It wasn't really my scene, but I had just found my boyfriend having sex with our neighbor next door, and I wanted to forget that image from my head. When I ran crying to my best friend Zaria, she held me and cooled me down, but then when our friends joined our pity party, they kind of forced me to come. So here I am right now. From the moment we took our seats at the booth, I could feel someone watching me, and I let my eyes wander around the club, looking. I met a pair of crystal blue eyes staring right at me by the bar. I couldn't tell much from far away, but I could tell he was good-looking. I had never seen such striking eye color before that made me feel awakened inside. The way he looked at me, and the way he held himself, oozing such power and confidence, I wanted to get close and get a front row seat. I wondered what being up close with him felt like, and I wanted it. As the night progressed, my eyes kept finding his by the bar, and he always had his eyes on me. It made me hot and tingly inside. I wanted to grab his attention in any way I could. So I announced to the girls that we should dance, and we all went to the dance floor, letting the rhythm of the music run through our bodies. I try getting the guy's attention while I am on the dance floor, and when our eyes meet again, and I am sure he is watching, I put on a show just for him, looking right at him as I move my body seductively. I think I see a hint of a smile before I'm interrupted by a pair of hands that have just landed on my waist. I turn around to find a man I don't know smiling down at me and moving with the music. I don't think so, buddy. I remove his hands from my waist and make it clear. I am not interested as I move away again and start dancing. I look for the blue eyes that first caught my attention at the bar, but I am not so lucky this time. If he is not there anymore, and he is not watching, I just better get out. It's not fun anymore. I am just about to leave when warm, hard and strong hands get a hold of my wrist and flawlessly pull me to an even warmer and stronger chest that makes me warm all over. The most vibrating, sexy voice I have heard whispers in my ear. "Are you leaving just when I have finally found you?" The voice sends butterflies in my stomach and awakens parts inside me that were surely dead after what I found out today. I know it's him. I can feel the energy, the touch, the rhythm. He makes me feel things I can't explain in words, not even if I wanted to. "What took you so long?" I ask back. "I was enjoying the view until I remembered you weren't mine yet. Others can see you too, and I had to make you mine." Getting ahead of ourselves, aren't we? What if I am already taken? My boyfriend could be watching us right now. I would have smelled him on you. I just need to claim you and show everyone who you belong to. The beat turns to loud music, and as the people jump and bump around us, we finally come down to reality. I turn around and finally take a look at the man behind me. He is strikingly beautiful, just as I had thought before. The man who looks like every woman's wet dream, just as I had been fantasizing about all night. I like what I see now: hard, strong cheekbones with a bit of moustache, an elegant nose that I would enjoy inhaling me in bed, and those blue eyes that have got my heart, the way he holds himself seeming to promise me everything. He is powerfully built and sexy as hell. I am sure even if I never see him again, I will always be on the lookout for the way he made me feel. That feeling. I smile up at him and blush when he focuses all his attention on me. He smiles back at me, and I am mesmerized by how his smile changes his whole face from being so dangerously sexy to lightening up my whole life. I knew being close to him and having him wholeheartedly focused on me would good, but I didn't know it would make me feel like I am the only girl in the world. It's like being the only thing that matters the most, important, cherish one of all. I can see my life flashing before his eyes. I can see myself falling in love with him, getting married somewhere on the beach and having our family. A little him and a little me. I want to be what he is offering. I want to be his. He must have read what was on my mind because he smiles and shouts at me over the music. "Do you want to get out of here and go somewhere quiet?" I nod eagerly at him and raise one finger to give me a minute as I go say goodbye to the girls and leave with this stranger whose name I don't even know yet. Highly risky and not very smart, but I believed I had just met my first love, and I was ruled by passion. We ended up going a few blocks from the nightclub at a 24-hour dinner and had pancakes and smoothies. It felt like a first date, and it was perfect. I loved listening to him talk, and I loved having his attention on me. It was the best first date I have ever had, which is crazy because we didn't talk about anything that was remotely important that we should have talked about, like our names, what we do, where we live, or stories about our family. Things that would have let us know more about each other, but we talked about everything and anything and never touched the surface of who we were. It wasn't until the waiter came to collect her bill as she was clocking out. We checked the time and it was 4 in the morning. The sun was going to come down on us in a few hours. Time does flow past us when you're having fun. I wished I could make it stop for a little while, but I couldn't. "So," he started. "So, I guess it's time I let you find a bed and get your beauty sleep." "You could?" I don't normally do this, but I was really hoping he could take me back to his place or ask to come to my place. I would give you my card, but that felt cliché, so I am going to ask for your number instead. "Oh, okay, of course, why not?" I give him my phone number, then he holds my hand as we get out of the diner and goes to my Uber. He helps me inside and kisses my forehead like a gentleman, as if he wasn't practically fucking me on the dance floor in front of all those people just a few hours ago. Then the driver starts our journey and he stands there by the sidewalk watching the car as it leaves, putting more distance between us until I can't see his image anymore. Did I just lose the very best thing to ever happen to me? Was the feeling mutual, or was I fantasizing about something that only I felt? Should I have done more? Flirted more, told him I wanted him, and refused to go home alone? No, that would have made me look desperate, and that's not a good look, but what if he doesn't call? That would crush me, because I know I will be on high alert for his phone to call for days to come, and it's going to drive me crazy. One thing I know I should have done that I didn't was ask him for his number back. I hope he calls. I was so anxious and nervous waiting for Sparkling Eyes to call me that I was rushing to pick it up, especially when it was a new number, that I did what shouldn't have been done. I was in the bathtub, taking a long, relaxing bath, when the phone rang. It was right there on the counter, and I grabbed it and brought it to look who was calling, while forgetting my hands were soapy. The phone slipped into the tub, giving me a heart attack in the process as I struggled to turn it off and raced to put it in a container of rice. Naked. My heart is beating fast and I am going crazy. What if Sparkling Eyes had just called and I missed it? He might never call me again. And that phone was brand new, the latest released version. I am not poor, but I'm not rich either. I can't afford to buy a brand new phone in a month. It's not even in my budget for the next few years. I blame my clumsy little fingers and my excitement. Now I am going to pay the ultimate price. My search on the internet through my computer says that the phone has to stay in the rice for 3 days, and that's a century of missed opportunities and a chance at love. Thank the heavens for work that does a lot of distracting when I get to work on Monday. We have just signed new clients at Starlight Ink Company. They deal with construction, real estate, and development. It's the hottest company right now to be getting a lot of deals and earning trillions of dollars. Having said that, it's a big project for our small firm that deals with events. Starlight is holding its annual 10th year ball, and we have been chosen to contend for the project. The company building is a massive masterpiece that has been built with enough glass to feel like it's made of diamonds. Very impressive. I am with my boss waiting for our turn to present our presentation when I decide to pick up a magazine to give myself something to do since everyone else seems to be on their phone. Times magazine has the top 5 bachelors this year. It promises hot, sexy, and filthy. I am intrigued, so I decide to take a look and decide for myself. I almost feel like my eyes are playing tricks on me. But they are not. There he is on the glossy cover, the guy I had been waiting on all week to call me, looking sharp and handsome in his tailored suit, with the best sexy, charming smile I have ever seen. He must be fighting women's attention left and right. Just look at the women in this office. Why would he even think of the girl he grinded on the dance floor that had nothing to her name, a 22-year-old assistant to a small event planning firm? Our turn comes, and we get led to a boardroom where 4 people are sitting on a panel, and a third stands just a bit further with a notepad, scribbling. My eyes instantly meet with the one sitting at the head and center of the panel with his confident allure and striking blue eyes. When our eyes meet, his hardens, making me stumble and lose the few canvases and things I had on me. I go to pick them up and write myself as my boss apologizes for my clumsiness and the delay. After that, I avoid looking at the panel altogether and display and connect things to keep everything in order before I signal my boss to start the presentation. She gives me a look before she starts presenting our ideas. I black out through the whole thing as I do my very best to not look at Edward again. I won't make that mistake twice. When she is done, the panel start asking questions which my boss invites me to answer. I came up with the idea and created the profile, so I get into it hoping Edward doesn't ask a question, and I am lucky enough that he says nothing until we are done in packing. Just one more thing. I would like Miss Reginald to stay. I still have some issues. I would like to settle with her. I could recognize that voice anywhere since it promised to make me his that night. I stiffen my gaze going to his again, and he doesn't look very pleased. My boss will kill me if she thinks I am causing problems for this once-in-a-lifetime project. I avert my gaze to meet my boss, who doesn't look happy about the request either. Shoot me now. The man who was standing by the counter comes over and immediately helps my boss with her things as I watch in awe the door closing behind them, but not before my boss gives me a warning look. I turn back to the room and we are all alone. He looks angry to see me, so I don't know why he wanted to talk to me alone. Does he even remember me? Is this work or personal? The guessing is killing me. I look around nervously because looking at him makes me feel like a bad kid under a microscopic length. There is a lot of distance between us sitting opposite each other in this spacious room, and that helps keep me calm. The room is quiet with neither of us saying anything, and I can feel him from the corner of my eye looking straight at me the whole time. The room gets cold with all the suspense in the air, and I hug myself nervously. Ruby Reginalds, he calls my name, and I can't help but look at him. He gives me a condescending look, stands from his chair and fixes his suit. I wish I could run my hands underneath it. He looked yummy enough to eat. I knew it. Neither my memory nor the magazine in my bag did him any justice. I stiffen when he starts heading towards me with determination and sit straight on the chair looking over as he comes over. He sits with one thigh on the table in front of him, supporting one of his hands. I moisten my lips. What I want to know is why you ghosted me, he says, lifting my chin with his finger. I am so turned on right now. Answer me, he bites out. Yeah, right, he asked me a question, I think. Did he just say I ghosted him? Does he know what I have been through? I didn't ghost you. I have to suck in the saliva in my mouth that's about to drip outside first to get a coherent sentence out. Why did you hang up on me, then turn off your phone? He asks with his finger trailing toward my neck, where he put his hands encircling my neck. He looks almost like he wants to choke me. Should I still be turned on right now? I didn't. I don't have my phone. I dropped it in the bathtub. I never got your call, and I don't even have your number. I answer back hurriedly as he keeps examining my neck. He starts inhaling me from my hair to my neck, then back. Using his hand on my throat, he gets me to stand up in front of him between his legs as his nose and mouth go to my collarbones, then between my breasts back to my ears as he whispers, I have missed your smell. It has haunted me. I don't know what that means. Whatever turns him on, I guess, since some people, especially rich men, have some freaky kinks. He then finally ascends to my lips and kisses me. After the second knock, the door is opened slightly, and the guy at the corner pokes his head in, not sparing me a glance as I hug Edward towards me, almost forcefully to cover my naked self from his eyes. I wish the ground would swallow me now. I have never been so embarrassed before in my life. What is it, Kelvin? Can't you see I am occupied right now? Edward growls at his assistant. I am sorry about that, boss, but you have that 11 o'clock meeting in D.C. and you need to get to the airport if you're going to make it at all. Shit, I forgot about that. If I am late this time, Connor will probably take the project from us just to spite me. He has a hard-on for being ignored. Fine, prepare the necessary instruments. Yes, sir. Kelvin answers and closes the door behind him, like finding his boss in such a compromising situation is a daily occurrence in the office. Is it? Edward is watching my embarrassed red face the whole time with a smile. There is a bathroom right over there. You can freshen up before you leave. Edward says to me, pointing to where the bathroom is inside. I nod and quietly say thank you, not meeting his eyes. I'll call you. Pick up this time. I would hate to take such drastic measures just to see you again. Edward says as he kisses my head and walks out the door. I quickly run into the bathroom to freshen up and calm my nerves. When I get out of the bathroom, there is a woman there who looks like she has been waiting for me. When I get close to her, she holds a shopping plastic bag to me. I take it hesitantly and look inside. What is this? I ask her politely. It's compliments from the CEO. We are going to go ahead with you on the party as discussed. Our office will be in touch tomorrow morning to finalize the contract. Oh, that's great news. Thank you so much, I tell her with a smile. No need to thank me. You can thank our boss. He was the one who was interested in your company, even though party planning is not on his to-do list. You must be something special, she says as she looks me over, and it's almost like she is digging for answers. I guess our company is. Thank you for this, I say, and start collecting my stuff to tell her I am ready to live and stop this interrogation. She shows me the door and leads me to the reception where my boss, Amber, is waiting anxiously. As soon as we are alone, she starts bombing me with questions about what the CEO of Starlight Enterprises wanted from me and if we lost the project. In her words, because of my clumsiness. We got it. They will be in touch with our office tomorrow morning for more details and the contract, I inform her, and she visibly relaxes and smiles at me. Great job. I knew I did not make a mistake in taking you under my wings. You continue this way, and maybe I will make you my partner when we go big. You just have to work for it, she says, surprising me. Thank you very much, Amber. That means a lot. Are you serious? Of course I am serious. Why do you think I have been letting you take the lead in some of my important projects? Because I believe in you. I just need to shape you up, is all. I don't know what to say. Thank you for seeing my potential. Okay, let's get out of here already, she says, and we start collecting our stuff when she notices the plastic bag I have in my hands. What's that? She asks curiously. It's nothing, just a complimentary thing they usually give at the office, I lie. Well, no one gave me one. I am sure they know you're the boss and have a much bigger complimentary for you when you come to sign the contracts. I lie straight through my teeth. She looks at me for a bit and sighs, then continues walking to the elevators. I quickly follow behind her. When we get to the office, I go to my desk and quickly open the plastic shopping bag to find out what's inside. I am met face to face with the latest brand new iPhone that has yet to hit the markets. I gasp both in surprise and excitement. I can't believe he got me a brand new phone. I feel like dancing right now. What has got you so happy right now? Just this morning, you looked like you hadn't had your morning coffee, our secretary says to me and startles me. I have to hold my breath. Nothing. I quickly answer, trying to hide the phone from her. Did you get the project Amber couldn't stop talking about? Yes, that we did. Congratulations, girl. Should we celebrate? Not tonight. Rain check? You're no fun. Hey, what's that? Is that a brand new iPhone? Maybe, I say cheekily, and she slaps my arm playfully. You lucky bastard. See you at lunch. Okay, I answer back as I turn on my phone, one, already distracted. There are 2 numbers saved on the phone. Edwards and his assistant. I don't know why he put on his assistant's number, but I finally have his number. Should I text him? Should I call? He was going on a business meeting, though. After a while, I decide to send him a massage. Thanks for the gift. I love it. Heart emoji, kisses. And then hit send. Today is turning out to be the best day ever. Just this morning, I was upset because I knew I had lost the love of my life, and now there are butterflies in my eyes. This morning, I also thought my boss was a bitch, since she was always on my case and disapproving when I made a little mess, but now I know better. She is just trying to get me ready for more, bigger things than just being an assistant. I am the luckiest woman in the world. When I get home, I keep waiting for Edward to call, and I fall asleep on the couch waiting for his reply, but neither comes. At 5 in the morning, he finally calls me. "Hello and good morning, beautiful," he says cheerfully. "I am a bit mad at you, so I'm at a loss of how to answer that," I say with my sleepy voice. "I am sorry I didn't call yesterday. I got stuck at work with the project I told you about earlier in the office. You could have called." Still, I point out, pouting even though he can't see me through the phone. "Why didn't you call me? I texted you. Didn't you get my message?" "That was a thank you. It doesn't count as a massage. Are you free tonight? I really want to see you again." "Yes, and I can't wait to see you too. Maybe this time we won't be interrupted and I will finally get to give you what you crave," he says, slowly getting the message across and getting me to the feeling he instilled in his boardroom yesterday, that I wish he were here to finish off what he had started. "I wish you would just finish me off now. How long do you have to get to work? Because I am a quick worker and I make miracles." "Oh my God, you're a bad influence, aren't you?" I say with a little chuckle. So bad. You have no idea," he says, and I believe him. "I think for the pride of all the women out there, I will wait until you have bought me dinner first. I already bought you breakfast when we met. Doesn't that count?" "Good morning, Edward," I say, and cut the phone on him, smiling the whole time like an idiot. I am in a good mood all the way to work. Amber takes me with her to discuss the terms of our agreement and sign the contract at Starlight Company during lunch. We don't meet Edwards anymore, and I find out that the CEO has better things to worry about than the annual party ball at the company. After our meeting, my boss takes me to lunch, and when we get back, she lets us leave early. I drag Kathy with me to buy me a brand new dress, since I know that Edwards will probably take me somewhere fancy for our dinner date tonight. Kathy loves dressing up, and I tell her I have a date at a fancy place tonight, so I need to look classy. I get a black, backless, knee-length dress that hugs my body like a second skin, showing my figure and making me feel both classy and sexy. Kathy volunteers to help me dress up for my date tonight, so we go to my place to hang out and later have dinner before I shower, and she helps me with my makeup and hair. We wait until 9 o'clock, and still there isn't anything from Edward. Kathy later leaves, and I am just removing my earrings to call it a night when the phone rings. It's Kelvin, his assistant, as he introduces himself. He tells me Edward is stuck in a conference call with Japan and hence couldn't come to the phone, but he wants me to meet him at the company so we can leave together from there. He sends a limo to pick me up at my place and takes me to the office. There are still some people working at the office with their business attire, and it makes me feel awkward walking in there the way I look. It also earns me all the attention I did not need. It helps that Kelvin meets me at the elevators, since there needs special access to go to the last floor that houses the CEO's office. We move up in silence. More than a polite greeting, Kelvin hasn't looked at me, his eyes busy on that iPod he keeps clicking. When we get to the top floor, I am amazed at the beauty and architectural thought put into it. It feels like walking into a museum of some kind. I guess it's to be expected from an architectural firm. I am led to the corner office and the gold double door as Kelvin opens the door for me. He is still on the call, but I have prepared refreshments for you in the kitchen, and there are drinks at the bar. The washroom is on your right, he says, and closes the door without waiting for my response. I walk in, and the place is set up like a magazine living room. I take location of the kitchen, the bathroom, and the double doors that I guess lead into Edward's office before I decide to sit down and scroll through my phone. I hadn't realized I had dozed off until someone kisses my lips and wakes me from the sleep that had taken me. "Hey," he says with a bright smile. "Hi." "I didn't realize you looked so sexy tonight." I would have cut that call short. "Ever since I met you, all you have done is stand me up?" I pout. "And ever since I met you, all you do is drive me crazy. Look, I really wanted to take you out tonight, but I am in the middle of a big project right now, and I am going to need you to be patient with me. It won't always be like this. When this project is done, things will cool down, and you can have me all to yourself. I promise." "What time is it?" I ask Edward. He smiles, looks at his watch, shakes the hand that has the watch, and smiles at me. Some people would consider it morning. Others would consider it being the next day after the day we were supposed to have our date. He looks at me as I'm stretching there on the sofa like a cute bunny he's enjoying looking at. I smile up at him. He comes down. As Edward approaches, his smile warms the room, easing any tension. I can't help but feel a flutter in my chest as his gaze meets mine. It's as if time slows down, trapping us in this moment. I take in his presence, grateful for the events that brought us together. He comes down and kisses me. I kiss him back. But before things get heated, he pulls back and says, "I don't want to sleep here today. Come on, let's go home." Okay, I agree. He takes my hand and we leave the building, him holding my hand the whole time. By the time we leave the building, there's already a car in the driveway, and the driver gets out of the car and opens the back door for us. Edward helps me inside, and then he gets in after me. When he gets in, he puts my head on his shoulder, and I lie there, not believing my luck. How could I have been so lucky? As the car glides through the city streets, I steal glances at Edward, marveling at the way his features are illuminated by the passing streetlights. The warmth of his embrace fills me with a sense of security I've never known before. It's as if we're cocooned in our own little world, shielded from the chaos of the outside. With each passing moment, the distance between us seems to shrink, until it feels like there's no space left to separate our bodies. I lose myself in the sensation of his touch as he gently caresses my side, craving more with each fleeting second. As the car slows to a stop, I reluctantly lift my head from Edward's shoulder, blinking away the haze of contentment that covered me. We've arrived at our destination, the Starlight Estate, a bunch of huge apartments in the middle of the city that cost a fortune. Of course, he lives here. I think to myself as Edward helps me out of the car. I keep staring at the huge apartments, the apartment building. The Starlight Estate is magnificent, to put it in a nutshell. It was covered in the fashion magazine last year for being the hottest place to live last year. I can't believe I'm going to step into one of these apartments. I can't contain my excitement. Edward looks at my face and smiles, asking, "What are you so excited about?" He asks me like I'm going to tell a funny joke. Oh my God, I never thought I would ever get into this building. I would pass it when I'm going to walk, and I would just look at it and be mesmerized. I would tell myself, maybe one day I will get to live here. Edward smiles at me as he brushes his pointy finger at my nose. "You already live here now," I smile. "It's a joke." He smiles back and says, "You're cute." And then he takes my hand and leads me inside the apartment. It is more beautiful than I could have thought. It's more like a hotel, the way the whole lobby is set up. We get to the elevators and there is a courier there to help us inside. As we get in, he greets us. "Mr. Darkwood, miss," he says politely, nodding his head. I smile back and say hi, but Edward just grunts. The elevator ascends smoothly, carrying us to the upper floors of the lavish building. I steal glances at Edward, marveling at the way his features are illuminated by the soft glow of the elevator's interior. I'm stepping into a world of luxury and privilege that I never knew existed. As the doors slide open, revealing the opulent hallway of Edward's apartment, I can't help but gasp in awe. I'm surprised that we are in a hallway that has only 2 doors to the left and the right. It can't be right. I look up at him and I tell him, "Okay, so you live in the penthouse and there are just 2 doors." "Yes, you will need to have the password to get in," he says, not acknowledging my surprise. "Just how rich are you?" I ask, half joking. He smiles and takes my hand, leading me to the door. He puts in the password, saying it's allowed to me. Then the doors open automatically, and we step inside. I'm like a little child in Candyland. The interior of the penthouse is unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's like stepping into a world of luxury, with sleek modern furnishings and floor-to-ceiling windows that offer breathtaking views of the city below. Edward leads me through the spacious living area, his hand warm in mine, as he guides me further into his home. Every detail is designed with purpose, from the elegant artwork that covers the walls to the plush furniture that invites me to sink into its comfort. It's a far cry from the modest apartment I call home, and yet, in Edward's presence, it feels like the most natural place in the world. As we explore the penthouse together, I can't shake the feeling that I've stumbled into a fairy tale, where dreams come true and magic is real. And as Edward pulls me into his arms, enveloping me in an embrace, I know that this is where I belong, by his side. Despite the extravagant surroundings. As we get back to the living room, Edward offers me a drink, saying, "So I ordered some food earlier, and it just needs me to preheat. I hope you don't mind." I smile. "What kind?" I ask. "It's a surprise. I could be allergic," I tease. "Then we'll know. Then I'll get to know what you're allergic to, what you like and what you don't like. I don't want you to tell me. I want to get to know you. I don't want you to tell me who you are. I want to see it. I want to experience it." "Okay, then. Surprise me." He goes to the kitchen, and after a few minutes, he comes back. "So, our late-night dinner is served," he says, taking my hand and leading me to the dining room. It's not like he owns half of the huge building, so it's like I'm in this big house. We sit down, we have dinner, and after, we cuddle on the couch and talk for a few minutes. So I ask him, "So how long have you been living here? Do you live here by yourself? Are you married?" "Oh my God, I hope you're not married. Are you married?" He chuckles. "Of course I'm not married. What do you think I am?" "I don't know. There's just a lot these days. I'm just making sure. I don't think I have had time to talk to you. I've just been so focused on you and me. I haven't had time to think about other things. That's why I think it's good that you know these things. So, like, are you single? You're not married, but are you single? You're single, right?" Edward laughs. "I'm not married. Yes, I am single. And I think I just found my mate." "Oh," I say, "you're my life mate too," and I peck him on the lips. He brushes my nose again and says, "You're cute." He brushes my nose again and says, "You're cute." "So do you live here by yourself?" I ask. "I used to." "Oh, so who do you live here with now?" "I live here with you." He answers with a serious face. "Oh my God, you're so funny. So who stays in the other door? Who's your neighbor?" "I don't have a neighbor. The other door is like a family house. I don't actually live here. This is my city house. I just come here when I'm in the city and I'm working, especially like right now when I'm working on this big project. Yeah, my house is a bit far away, so when I stay in the city, this is my city house, and next door is the family's city house. I don't want people in my space, so I thought it was better to give my family their own house when they are in the city and they have their own rooms." "Okay, Mr. Fancy, you're cute. Stop calling me I'm cute." "Okay, I'll stop. Anyway, yeah, this is my city house. This is not actually me. I live a little outside the city, and that's the place where you will find the real me. So as soon as I finish this project, I'm going to take you there. I'm sure you're going to love it. It has privacy, it has a large space ground there. There are trees and flowers, and there's good air and nature. You're going to love it there. Okay, I can't wait to go to your real house and get to know you better." He smiles and says, "You told me not to call you cute anymore. So can I kiss you?" "Please do, Mr. Darkwood." He smirks and gets down to kiss me. From there on, it gets heated, and before I know it, we're in the bedroom. I'm out of my clothes. And Edward finally drives home. The night unfolds in a blur of passion and heat, each moment filled with a sense of connection and longing. As we lose ourselves in each other's bodies, I can't help but feel a sense of completeness wash over me, as if I've finally found the missing piece of myself in Edward's arms. And as we surrender to the moment, I know that this is just the beginning of our life together, a journey filled with love, desire, and the promise of the future. When I wake up in the morning, sore, tired, spent, and satisfied, I rise from sleep and blink my eyes to the light. I look beside me, and Edward is not there, but there is a note on top of his pillow. I take the paper as I try to shake the sleep from my eyes and read it. The paper reads, "There's breakfast in the kitchen. Sorry I had to run early, but I already arranged for a car to take you to work, and there are spare clothes in the closet." I raise an eyebrow in surprise. Okay, that was a lot. I get up, have a shower, and when I walk into the closet, I have to put my hand in my mouth to stop the sound. Oh God, what is this? I ask myself. The closet is divided into two sides. There is the dark side, which I assume is Edward's side because it's adorned with his suits and shoes and whatever, but on the other side, there are just brand new designer clothes, dresses, skirts, shirts, shoes. They still have tags on them, and they look expensive. Is this for me? I ask myself. I think I'm being insane. Edward has thought of everything. And when did this even happen? I mean, there are panties and bras. I mean, he thought of everything. I even have night dresses here and they're all in my size. I feel like crying. Tears are getting to my eyes. After I have calmed down, realizing I have to be early to work, I choose a modest white dress that expresses how I feel. I put it on, pair it with my white shoes, and grab a yellow bag to lighten my mood. I get myself ready and start heading towards the door. I get out of the house and head to the elevators. Pressing the button, I wait, and soon enough, the doors slide open. Stepping inside, there's a new face, the elevator attendant. "Good morning, miss," he greets me. "Good morning," I answer with a smile. He presses the button to the underground parking, and though I'm about to protest, I remember Edward's message about the arranged car. When the elevator doors open, I step out and see Edward's driver waiting. "Good morning, miss," he says, opening the back door for me. I thank him and get inside as he starts the car. It's then I realize I don't have my work bag and some essentials. "Hello, sorry, what's your name?" I inquire. "You can call me Peter, Miss Reginald," he answers, already aware of my name. "Peter, do you mind taking me home? I have some things I need for work." "It's not a problem, miss. I am at your service," he says with a smile. I return the gesture, and Peter takes me to my apartment where I gather my belongings before heading straight to work. I might have overslept at Edward's place, so I'm a bit late, but thankfully, Amber, my boss, hasn't arrived yet. I get a lot of attention for my wardrobe choice today, and I carry that smile with me the whole day. I dive into the Starlight project, pouring my passion and dedication into it. This project could be the turning point for our small event firm, and if everything goes as planned, I'll become a partner, just as Amber promised. With renewed focus and determination, I work diligently, eager to make the most of this opportunity. When I get off work later in the evening, I'm surprised to find Peter waiting for me. I frown and look at him in surprise. "Miss Reginald, good evening," he says respectfully. "What are you doing here?" I ask him. "Mr. Darkwood instructed me to pick you up from work," Peter explains calmly. "Isn't he busy? I thought he was busy right now. We didn't have any plans," I say, taking out my phone and starting to call Edward. Peter puts his hand in front of his suit and waits patiently. I've never had someone wait for me before. This is kind of weird. I look around to see if anybody can see this exchange. Edward doesn't pick up, but Kelvin answers the phone. "Miss Reginald, I'm sorry, but Mr. Darkwood is a little bit occupied right now," Kelvin explains. "Okay, I'm sorry. It's just that Peter's here and I was wondering if we had any plans." "Oh yeah, Mr. Darkwood instructed me to have Peter pick you up from work and take you back to the townhouse. But I don't live there." That's not up for me to say, but those were the instructions. I don't even have the password to the house. "Well, he told me that he already gave them to you, but it's not a problem. I will forward you the password to get inside. Have a great evening." Kelvin concludes abruptly, hanging up the phone. What the hell is going on? He just expects me to go to his penthouse and wait for him until he comes back. What should I do? I get inside the car and tell Peter to take me back to my apartment. As I step out, I instruct him to go back to work and that I'll call him later. He wants to argue, but I've already left the car and entered my apartment. I continue with my evening routine, as if Edward's arrangement never happened. After dinner, I decide to go to bed early, feeling exhausted and worn out from last night and today's work. Just as I'm shutting off the lights, there's a knock on the door. I go towards the door and open it. I don't know what I was expecting, but I certainly wasn't expecting to see Edward standing there on the other side, in his sharp, elegant suit, emanating his powerful vibe. I smile brightly at him, but his expression is serious, and he might be brooding. "What's wrong?" I ask as my hand instinctively reaches for his face. He holds my hand before it makes contact and gently backs me up inside. Once we're both inside, he closes the door behind him and then pushes me against the wall, his face inches from mine. "I'm so angry at you right now," he says, and then he kisses me. It's hard, rough, and needy. My body responds immediately, and I kiss him back just as fiercely, wrapping my legs around his waist. Instead, he nips my ear so hard it nearly hurts, and then whispers into my ear, "Why did you disobey me?" "Disobey you? What do you mean? What are you talking about?" I ask, still in the post-orgasm euphoria and confused about what he means. I specifically instructed you to have breakfast. I told you there was breakfast in the kitchen this morning. Oh, that. Sorry, I forgot. I was late for work. So you didn't eat my breakfast. Did you have any breakfast at all? He bites out. You know, right now we are working on this Starlight project, and it's the biggest project our company could have ever thought of having. We have to hire these new people, and they are just brand new things. It's just been very hectic. At least tell me you had lunch. Yeah, Kathy got some burgers for the whole office, so yeah, I did eat lunch, I reply. He pulls out and asks, where's the bathroom? I indicate to him where it is, and he heads there. I pick up my discarded panties and go to the bedroom. When I come back later, I find Edward still standing in the living room waiting for me. Hey, I say with a smile. He turns to me and tells me, go pack a bag. You're spending the week with me. Okay, hold on there for a minute. I especially did not like that you sent your staff to get me from work and instructed me to go back to your home this evening. It's our home, Edward says, calmly. Since when? Look, Edward, we just met, like 3-4 days ago. I don't know, we just met. I can't just move into your house. It's too soon. It's not too soon for me. From the moment I saw you in that nightclub, I knew you were mine. And when I got closer to you and you let me inside you, I have never felt anything like this before. I was home. You are my mate. We belong together. I do not need a month or a year to know that I want you by my side. He breathes silently. I want to wake up with you by my side. I want to go to bed either inside you or with you by my side. But I want to be close to you. I want to be with you. If that's not what you want, tell me now, Edward states earnestly. Look, Edward, I like you too, but I don't know. Is it that you want me to beg? I can beg if that's what you want, he responds, unsure of how to navigate this sudden intensity. No, it's just I didn't like the way you ordered me around. I'm not one of your staff. I'm not your employee. We need to talk things first before you start instructing me to do things. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to get used to that, he explains as he approaches me and envelops me in his arms. He's so tall I have to crane my neck to look up at him. You're bad at taking instructions, he teases, flicking my nose. You're worse at giving directions. If you disobey me again as you did today, I'm going to spank your little ass, Red. No, you wouldn't, I retort, kissing his chin. Come on, would you pack a bag and at least stay with me for a few days, please? He pleads, his tone softer now. I look up at him and realize I do want to be close to him. Okay, let me throw some things together and get my work stuff. Okay, he says, kissing my nose and letting me go. I quickly prepare and then we leave for his house. For the whole week, Peter takes me to and from work. Edward arrives late most of the time, slipping into the penthouse when I'm already asleep and leaving before I wake. But when he is there, he makes his presence known, both in the house and in my bed. After a month, we've settled into a routine, and I find myself practically living in his penthouse. And then he takes me to his house. It's far outside the city, smack in the middle of a vast estate surrounded by towering trees. As we drive down the winding road, I can't help but feel a sense of isolation settle over me. The trees seem to close in around us, creating a cocoon of nature that shields the house from prying eyes. Finally, we arrive at the house, a grand mansion that looms over the landscape like a fortress. It's surrounded by a sprawling garden, which in turn is bordered by dense forest. There are no neighbors in sight and no signs of civilization for miles around. I'm surprised at how remote the location is and how isolated it feels. Watching the imposing house come into view, I can't help but wonder if this is Edward's family home, if he lives here alone. Doubt begins to creep in, and I find myself questioning whether I've bitten off more than I can chew. Welcome to the Darkwoods estate, Edward announces as he opens the door for me, taking my hand. Today, Peter didn't drive us. Edward preferred to drive alone when leaving the city. I smile tensely, and Edward notices, frowning slightly. Hey, are you okay? He asks with concern. I try to gather some happiness and excitement in my answer. Yes, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm fine, I reply, though my voice lacks conviction. Okay, Edward says, looking at me awkwardly. Come on, let's get inside. I'll get your bag. He heads back to the car and retrieves my bag, along with his own briefcase. Taking my hand, he leads me up to the mansion. As we approach the door, it suddenly swings open, nearly giving me a heart attack. An old man and woman stand in the doorway, and I can't help but laugh awkwardly. Edward looks at me strangely, but then joins in the awkward laughter. The old man comes toward us and helps Edward with the bags, while the old woman remains at the door. When we reach them and step inside, Edward greets the woman affectionately, kissing her forehead, and hugs the old man before introducing us to each other. Edward introduces the old woman as Margaret and the man as Manuel. "This is my girlfriend, Ruby Reginald," he says, and I feel a flutter in my heart. I suppose I should have expected it, but he's never called me his girlfriend before. So I smile brightly at that. "And this is Margaret and Manuel. They help me around the house, and they don't live far from here. They've been with me forever. I think Margaret may have changed my diapers at one time in my life," he teases, and everyone laughs. Margaret looks distant, but Manuel is bright and charming as he welcomes me to their Darkwoods estate. Suddenly, Edward smells the air and says, "What's that, Margaret? Don't tell me you prepared my favorite berry cupcakes." Margaret beams at him. "Of course I did. Come on, join me in the kitchen." We follow her to the kitchen, where she hands us a bunch of cupcakes. Edward snaps them up in quick succession, and I widen my eyes at him. Even though we've lived in his apartment for nearly 3 weeks, we haven't actually had much time to spend together. We've only eaten together a few times. And I guess with a body like his and such stamina, he must be a big eater. Margaret starts delivering food right there in the kitchen, and Edward attacks his meal like he hasn't eaten in days. "I've really missed your cooking, Margaret," he tells her, and she's filled with pride. I have to admit, the food Margaret makes is really good, and I'm afraid if I stay here too long, I'll gain 100 pounds. After we've eaten, we finally go upstairs to our room. "What was that out there?" Edward asks me as we settle in our room. "What?" I reply, confused. "When we reached here, you started acting strangely. Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. Why do you keep asking me that?" I respond, feeling a bit defensive. "I keep asking because you're just acting different," he explains. "No, I'm okay, I promise." "Is it too much?" "The house? You don't like it here?" he inquires, getting concerned. "No, I mean the house is beautiful, it's nice, it's just so secluded." "Do you even get internet here?" I question. Edward laughs. "Of course, there's electricity, there's internet, there's everything you could ask for. The whole world could burn to the ground and we would survive." "Stop that. It's not funny," I tell him firmly, but then curiosity gets the better of me. As we came upstairs, I saw there were a lot of rooms on the first floor. "Do you stay here, by yourself in this whole house?" "Yes. Is that a problem?" "Why would you want to stay here with this whole house by yourself?" I probe gently. "Okay, come here," he says, taking my hand and leading me to sit on the bed. "Margaret and Manuel live not far from here." "Where is their car? I didn't see a house for a lot of miles." "They park in the garage. That's where I also put the car, so they come in the morning and they leave in the evening." This house and property has been in the Darkwoods estate for hundreds of years. My parents wanted to have a huge family, but then they weren't so lucky. But we have relatives who come to visit from time to time. The house hosts a lot of parties, so the house gets filled sometimes. I'm still thinking, I admit. "Okay, so you are an only child." "Yes, I am, and I don't like sharing my toys," he teases, and I can't help but laugh as he kisses me. "So, don't you get lonely here?" I ask, pushing him back when he tries to deepen the kiss. "Well, I don't. I love the wilderness. I love running and the privacy. It's quiet. It gets me grounded and focused. I love being here." "Do you hate it? I mean, it would crush me if you hated it, because it's the one happy place. I am not really a city person." "I don't know. Maybe I can get used to it when I get used to it. I will have to answer that after I have spent a few days." "Okay, just promise me you will give it a chance," he pleads. "I promise," I assure him. That night passed uneventfully. I guess I was too tired, so I slept through it. When I wake up, it's already 10, and Edward has just gotten out of the shower. He comes to the bed and kisses me. "Good morning," he whispers, and we get acquainted with the bed again that morning. I wake up, go to the bathroom, and when I come back, Edward delivers me breakfast in bed. "Here you go, darling," he says with a smile, placing the tray in front of me. After, he gives me a tour of the mansion. It's divided into 3 wings. And of course, he uses the center wing. He says his parents used to have the right wing and the left one was used for guests. We've got a whole setup here, he jokes. Once we have our mini you and mini me, they can take the right wing. What do you think about that? I laugh at it, and we continue through our tour. By lunchtime, Margaret serves us a hearty meal, and I find out that Edward is a meat lover. He loves eating meat, barbecued, red, and juicy. You've got quite the appetite, I tease him. He grins. I like my meat. And then winks. That night, when we got to bed, we made love again, twice, before I succumbed to sleep. I don't know what wakes me in the middle of the night, but I guess I'm kind of thirsty too. Edward is not by my side, and I wonder where he could be. I check the bathroom, and I go to the mini sitting room of the bedroom. He is not there. I decide to go down to the kitchen and get some water, as I try calling out for him. Edward? Edward, are you here? Are you here, Edward? I call out as I navigate through the dark mansion. But the whole house is dark. It's eerily calm, and I start getting scared on my way down the stairs. Look, it's the whole house in the middle of this forest. What if somebody gets in? What if something is already in? What if something attacks me? I'm a scaredy cat. I think to myself nervously, hello, is someone there? I call out, my voice trembling. Silence. I reach the kitchen, and just as I go to get a bottle of water from the fridge, suddenly the back kitchen door is opened, and someone gets in. I'm so scared that my eyes get fuzzy. I scream, so damn high, so damn hard, my heart racing with fear. I make a run for it, and he quickly grabs me. I'm shouting and screaming and fighting out of his hold when he speaks directly into my ear. I accidentally hit him in the nose with my head, but he keeps talking until I finally hear what he's saying. Come down, Ruby. It's me. Come on, come down, it's me. After a while, my body suddenly relaxes, hearing his assuring voice. I relax in his arms, and he holds me close, pulling me into his chest. I lay my head against him and release a sigh of relief. Oh my God. I was so scared. I've never been so scared in my life, I tell him. I know, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Are you okay? He asks. I turn back around and look at him, giving him a playful shove in the face. Why did you do that? Why did you scare me like that? I am sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. You're okay. And why are you naked? I ask him, suddenly realizing that he is as naked as the day a baby was born. He's not even wearing boxers, just plain naked as he came in the door. He looks at his naked self, then back at me, and then he says, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. What? I ask, surprised. What could he forget to tell me? I wonder to myself, puzzled. Well, you see, I love running, late at night and early in the morning. It helps me get grounded. Yes, but do you have to do it naked? I inquire. But that's why I told you that I love the privacy of this place. It gives me the opportunity to just run out there with no weight on me. Not a weight of clothes, the weight of noise, a weight of my responsibilities in the company and the work. I just get to run freely out there. That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard, I tell him, narrowing my eyes. Ruby, look, I am so stressed. It's not so easy running a multi-trillion-dollar company. And this is the place where I get to connect with nature. I get to be myself, and I get to release all the pent-up tension and distress. It's the only thing that brings me peace and centers me whole, he explains. But do you really have to do it naked? Can't you at least wear some shorts? What if you meet someone out there, or you meet an animal out there? Isn't it dangerous to be so naked out there? I express my concerns. Don't worry, this whole property is under starlights, and you don't have to be worried. It's secure and it is safe. You don't have to be worried. I wouldn't leave you here if it was not safe. Okay? Trust me, just relax. It's just you and me here, he reassures me. When did you wake up? He asks. I know he is trying to change the subject. Well, just a few minutes ago. I was thirsty and I started coming down the stairs. I think I heard something and I was calling out for you, but you were not responding. And then you just walked in like that. Okay, I'm really scared. My adrenaline is still high, I admit. Okay, I'm sorry. Listen, why don't I make you some tea? I have some herbal here that will make you relax. How does that sound? I sigh, agreeing reluctantly. Okay, fine. Edward helps me to the chair, still naked, and prepares the herbal tea, bringing it over to me. You're shivering, he notes, concern evident in his voice. I'm going to go upstairs and put in something. Are you going to be okay for a few minutes until I get back? I promise to be quick. Fine, but close the door first, I reply, and he chuckles before closing the door and darting out of the kitchen. Soon after, he returns, now dressed in shorts. He wraps me in a comforting hug, peppering me with kisses. How do you feel now? He asks softly. I don't know, I admit, feeling a mix of emotions. He continues to shower me with affection, and then he kisses my forehead, both my eyes, my nose, my mouth, my chin, the underside of my chin, my neck. And before I know it, he's descended to my breasts and under, and then my whole body is on fire, and he's carrying me upstairs. And soon, passion ignites between us once more. Afterward, he helps me drift off to sleep. The next morning, I awaken to calls from my boss, Amber, regarding the Starlight party. We discuss plans via video calls, and once finished, I head downstairs in search of Edward. In the kitchen, I find Manuel and Margaret. Hello, I greet them. I'm looking for Edward. Have you seen him? Manuel responds, I think he went to the bayou. Bayou? I'm taken aback. What's a bayou? Margaret interjects, clarifying, he means he went to buy you something. He said he was going to get you something. Oh, I thought you said bayou. Bayou, I chuckle nervously. Okay, I think maybe it's a surprise. Margaret smiles tightly before busying herself in the kitchen. Sensing tension, I decide to leave them to their tasks and head outside for some fresh air. I guess that's my cue. I have an inkling that Margaret doesn't like me, and she especially doesn't like me coming into the kitchen when she is around, but she absolutely beams whenever Edward does. I leave and busy myself in the house. I decide to go outside for a breath of fresh air. Sitting in the outdoor chairs, I take in the serene surroundings. Moments later, I spot Edward emerging from the woods, his presence both surprising and intriguing. At first, it's just a distant figure, barely discernible amidst the vast grass garden between the house and the trees. I strain my eyes until I recognize his walk and his hair, confirming it's Edward. But as he approaches, I sense his agitation, his anger evident even from a distance. Hi, I've been looking all over for you, I greet him eagerly. Oh, hi, sorry? You've been looking for me? He responds, seeming a bit distracted. Yes, where did you go? I thought you went to buy me a gift. Buy you a gift? Why do you think I'd get you a gift? He muses, his brow furrowing in confusion. I don't know, I just asked for you, and Manuel said you went to buy me something, I explain. Edward pauses, contemplating this. I would have to go with a car if I was going to buy you something, and I was just going for a walk. Yeah, but you look upset. You don't look happy. Did something happen? I observe, concerned. Yeah, someone just got on my nerves, but it's fine. It's okay. It has nothing to do with you. I'm here now with you, and that makes me happy, he reassures me, though his tension is still evident. Curiosity gets at me as I press further. Who would you have a misunderstanding with in the woods? I thought you liked the woods. They made you happy and helped you relax. It's a phone call, it's fine, don't worry about it. Come on, let's go inside, he deflects, leading me towards the house. But as we walk, I catch a glimpse of someone passing by the trees, retreating back into the woods. My heart skips a beat, and I tense up, pointing in the direction the figure vanished. Hey, are you okay? Edward asks, noticing my unease. I think I saw someone standing there, and then they went back to the woods, I admit, my voice trembling slightly. He looks back and then shakes his head. No, it's nothing. Despite his reassurance, I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. I'm sure I saw someone standing there. On Monday, we both resume our work routines. Later in the day, Edward invites me to his office, where I sit and wait as he finishes up his tasks. Afterwards, we head back to his apartment. I really have to go back to my apartment one of these days, I mention. You should move in, he suggests, taking my hand and leading me to his bed. I don't know, I'm just still. If we were to get tired of each other, we would have already gotten tired of each other. But we haven't, he expresses hesitantly. If you live there and I live here, how much time would we have together? You're so busy with work, I'm busy with work, we'll never get time to be together. But this way we get to spend every moment we're not at work together. Come on, move in, he persuades. Okay, fine, I will half move in, I compromise. What do you mean, half move in? What's that? He asks, playfully. I think I really, really like you, I confess. I really like you too. He replies, and we share a kiss. As the days pass, it becomes increasingly challenging to commute between the house outside the city and work, especially since Edward's work allows him more flexibility. He suggests getting a helicopter to streamline our commute. But where would the helicopter drop me off? Our offices don't have helipads, I point out. I'll work on a solution for that. Don't worry, he assures me, planting a kiss on my lips. Don't get crazy. I know how you get when you want something. I warn playfully. I know what I want, and I go for what I want, just like I got you, he says, kissing me again. I don't think I have ever been so loved like this before. I'm overwhelmed by the love and care Edward shows me. He truly feels like my soulmate, even though he may not know how much he means to me. It's a few days until the Starlight Ball annual party, so it's hectic at the office. That is why it's such a surprise when there's suddenly a hush down at the office, and I look from my cubicle and raise my head to see why everyone has gone quiet and look at the direction of the door. To find Edward Darkwood standing there and looking at me with a huge smile. It looks funny on his face, and I have to contain myself not to chuckle. He walks towards me and, still in my surprise, kisses me full-on the mouth. I hear gasps and whispers around me. I guess I never got to tell anyone that I was dating Edward Darkwood through all the work, and so now everybody knows. What are you doing here? I can't help but wink at him. Don't worry, I'm not here to see you. Although I did come to see you, I am here to talk to your boss, Amber. Ah, okay, it has nothing to do with me, right? I ask him. You're so cute, he says as he flicks my nose again and heads towards Amber's office, who is already standing outside the door, beaming at him and looking at me with a questioning look. I guess maybe I was supposed to tell my boss that I was dating the owner of the company who just gave us a huge project. I don't know. The two of them get inside, and my desk is suddenly attacked, mostly by women. You're dating Edward Darkwood? Oh my God, he's so handsome, one says. And what's the sex like? Another one adds. How could you hide this from us? Oh my God, another chimes in. So are you two dating? Someone else asks. Everybody's asking me everything, but I'm more focused on why Edward is here. I remember what his secretary said the day we went for the project, and he said, Edward does not deal with parties. So why is he here? Does this have anything to do with what we were talking about? So I keep watching the door. A few minutes later, Edward gets out, heads towards my desk, and then he tells me, see you later. And I'm looking at him, and he's kissing me. Then he's leaving with Kelvin trailing behind him, still in his pad as always. I don't know if he ever has his eyes off that pad. Before I can compose myself, Amber gets out of her office and asks me inside. I enter her office nervously, remembering the look she gave me earlier. But as I close the door and meet her gaze, I see a smile on her face. This can't be bad news, I reassure myself as I take a seat across from her desk. Ruby, I knew I made the right choice when I hired you and took you under my wing, Amber begins. Okay, thank you, I reply, feeling a mix of anticipation and anxiety. You know how important this job is to me, and you know I've been working really hard for that partnership. It's okay, she says, cutting me off. You, my dear, have just become the owner of Amber & Co. What do you mean? I ask, confusion evident in my voice. Are you making me partner now? It's more than that. I just retired, she explains. You just retired? Like, what do you mean you just retired? I'm still grappling with the concept. Yes, you know what retired means. It means being done with working. I just became a millionaire all thanks to you, Amber reveals. You're not making any sense, Amber, so you're going to let me lead the company while you take some time off? But we're in the middle of the Starlight project, I protest. Yes, and I trust you, and I believe in you, and I'm sure you're going to do a fantastic job. That's why it makes me happy to leave the company in your hands, she reassures me. I know you're going to take good care of my baby. You know, this company is the only baby I have. You're too young to retire, I interject. I know, right? I guess I found something else to do. Maybe I will go on that trip I've always wanted to take, she muses, lost in thought. As she reminisces about missed opportunities, I sit there feeling confused. Okay, are you hiring me as the CEO of the company? No, you just bought the company, Amber clarifies, looking at me puzzled. Didn't you know about this? Mr. Darkwood is your boyfriend. You're involved, right? I freeze in my seat, processing her words. Maybe, I answer meekly. So are you dating or are you not? I guess we are. That's great because he just bought the company. He offered me a deal I couldn't refuse. It's a lot of money. He bought the company, and he bought it under your name. He bought it for you, Amber explains. What? What? I exclaimed, taken aback. What do you mean he bought the company for me? I already told you that you are the owner of Amber & Co. Of course, you're free to change the name, and he said there were changes he wanted to make. I don't care what you do with it because I know you're going to take good care of it, Amber explains, getting up from her chair to hug me. As she embraces me, she adds, Aren't you happy? You should be excited. We're going to make a whole thing of it. I mean, I know you're in a big project right now, so we just get maybe a few champagne, maybe get some pizzas to celebrate with the office, and of course, I will be there for your big first project. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. After Amber coaxes me into having drinks and pizza, I excuse myself and take a taxi to Edward's office, only to be met by Kelvin again. Mr. Edward is busy at the moment, but let me see if he can spare a few minutes, Kelvin informs me before disappearing into Edward's office. A few minutes later, I'm summoned into Edward's office, and without hesitation, I confront him, my anger rising. What did you just do? What are you talking about? Did you just buy Amber's company? I demand, frustration evident in my tone. Yes. Wait, are you mad? You don't look happy. I thought you would be happy about this. I thought you were going to give me thank you sex in the office. Edward responds, seemingly confused by my reaction and trying to make light of the whole thing. Are you kidding me? Why would you do that? I retort, my anger escalating. I wanted to do something nice for you, okay? I mean, I've already cleared a floor for your company in the building, and I'm going to invest in it. You're going to have the resources and the personnel, and you're going to be your own boss, so you no longer have to be pushed around. But you get to make your own decisions and have your own time, so we can get to spend more time together. I found a solution to our problem, and I'm helping your career. I thought you would be happy about this, Edward explains, trying to justify his actions. What made you think I wanted you to buy my career for me? I counter, frustration evident in my voice. I didn't buy your career for you, okay? I believe in you. My company is the first big project for your new company, and I know you're going to do a good job. Your boss trusts you. When she came for the presentation, you did half of it and you impressed me. You're going to impress everyone. And working for our company and having me as an investor is going to get you even more clients. What seems to be the problem here? I mean, I have thought about this professionally and business-wise. I wouldn't invest in something that isn't profitable for me and my company, okay? I'm a businessman first, and I thought this would help both our lives and our work, Edward explains earnestly. I keep quiet, still watching him. Finally, he sighs and says, Okay, fine. I'm sorry. I was doing this for you. I thought it would make you happy. If you don't want it, we can erase it all. I don't know. I guess I'll have to think of something else. As I look at his tired face, I feel bad. I should properly apologize for my reaction. He really was just trying to help me. I'm sorry, I say softly. He looks at me, not saying anything, and I follow him to his desk, rounding it to his chair as I sit on his lap. I'm sorry for how I reacted. It just caught me by surprise, and I don't even know why I acted that way. It seems so stupid and foolish right now. No, I'm sorry. I should have passed it by you first, he replies. No, you did a good thing for me. Thank you. I'm happy that you thought about me and that you believe in me. That is so sweet. Thank you, I say, genuinely grateful for his gesture. As I kiss him, it slowly starts to sink in. My brain, body, and senses begin to align, and I realize that I have a fully functioning operating company with clients, staff, and a big project ahead in a few days. Oh my God, I exclaim, feeling overwhelmed. I stop, unable to contain my emotions, and stand in front of his lap. I find myself spinning around, chuckling, laughing, and crying. What is it? What's wrong? You're scaring me, he says, concern evident in his voice. I own my own company. I'm running a whole company. It's mine, I blurt out, still in disbelief. Yes, it's yours, and you deserve it. You know you do. You were going to make partner anyway, he reassures me. Yes, I was going to. I deserve this. After all, I put up with Amber. It finally paid off, I say as I run to him and hug him tightly, tears of happiness streaming down my face. And then, just as I'm still cuddling him, he leans in and whispers in my ear, "Can we have office sex now?" I lean away from him and give him a questioning look. "Seriously?" To celebrate, he points out with a cheeky grin, "Put your tongue back into your mouth, Mr. Darkwood. I am not having sex with you in this office." "Why not?" he protests, leaning back into his chair, arms raised in disbelief. "I've been such a good boy. I deserve it." "Later, baby. I have to run back to work. You know I'm a busy bee," I reply, kissing his nose before heading for the door. But he stops me. "Ruby," he calls out, and I turn back to face him. "Yes," I respond. "Heck, we're going to have the movers move your office to the building tonight. So maybe when you get there, start packing anything important that you don't want to be tangled with other things," he says, surprising me. "What?" "Didn't your boss tell you?" he asks, confusion evident in his voice. "I told you that we're moving the location of your office here. That way it's easy for us to commute to the house and here together." I want to protest, but I suddenly relent and say, "Okay, then I guess I gotta head on to it then." As I'm opening the door, he calls me back again. "Ruby," he says, and I turn to look at him once more. "Yes?" I inquire. "Please tell me you're happy about this. I need to know that I did something good," he pleads. I pause, weighing my thoughts. I have to admit there are a few things I have problems with, but I also have to admit that this is the best thing that has ever happened to me. So I look back at him and give him a genuine smile. I'm more than happy about this. It's the Starlight annual party, and I have to admit, I'm freaking out. I've assisted Amber in small events, but this is the big one, and it's the first time everyone will look to me for answers. I'm the boss, the leader, so I'm kind of freaking out. But ever since the party started, everything's been going well, top-notch, just as I'd hoped. But I have no time to enjoy it. I'm busy putting out one fire after another. The party has invited major people in the city, including those from politics, business, the arts, and the media. It's going to get great media coverage for my company, and so far I think I've done a good job. My eyes keep drifting to Edward every once in a while, watching him interact with a huge vibe that draws people in. Women openly flirt with him, throwing him sexy looks from left to right. Why did he even pick me? There's nothing distinguishing about me, I wonder. As I stand there, watching him talk to two women, a mother and daughter, the daughter batting her eyelashes at him, someone suddenly speaks behind me. "Ruby Reginald in the flesh," the voice says. I turn around to find a man in a dark shirt with shaggy hair, a rugged look like a rock star, staring at me intensely as if trying to figure me out like a puzzle. "I'm sorry, I don't think we've met," I answer back, trying to recall if I've ever seen him before. He takes my hand, gentle and manly, and kisses the back of it. "It's a pleasure to finally meet you personally," he says with a charming smile. "I wish I could say likewise, but I do not know your name. I seem to be at a disadvantage," I reply, feeling a bit taken aback. "Smart, too," he acknowledges. "I knew Edward wouldn't choose a bimbo." "Are you friends with Edward?" I ask. "Yeah, knew him, since before when he had a runny nose, and didn't have his front teeth," he jokes, sharing a laugh with him. He chuckles. He prompts, curious. "So you're Edward's secret girlfriend?" "Well, I don't think I would call myself a secret." "You wouldn't call yourself a secret or a girlfriend? I don't know what it is you want me to say." I answer honestly, and suddenly, Edward is there. "Leo," he says, acknowledging the man, and then looks at me. "Wonderful job, sweetheart. The place looks amazing." "Thank you," I answer, my mood elevating. Leo says, "I was just saying hi to Miss Reginald," and then claps Edward's back before continuing, "Okay then, enjoy your evening." "Thank you," Edward says a bit tightly. "That was weird," I remark. "Yeah, forget about him. Let me let you get back to work," he responds. "Okay," I say. I think he's going to kiss my forehead, but he doesn't. He continues on, getting stopped by two men on his way back. I want to ponder about it, but I decide to get back to work. When the party's over, I have to stay back and make sure everyone has left. Got a ride for people, and everyone has gone. Everything in the place is in order before I leave. I call Edward, but I can't find him. And of course, Kelvin is here. I find him when I go to look for Edward in his office. I have the password to go to his office upstairs now. Miss Reginald, how may I help you? Kelvin asks, looking up from his pad. I'm looking for Edward. I thought we were going to leave together, I say. No, I'm sorry about that. He had to head on out. Okay, I answer a bit tersely. I guess I'll just go now. Good night. Peter will take you back to the apartment, Kelvin adds. I grit my teeth. I hate it when it looks like Kelvin is planning my life for me. I get to the empty apartment and Edward is not there. I know that he went back to the house. Why did he leave me? And why didn't he say anything? It's late, but I have the keys to my car. So I decide to drive for an hour and a half to Edward's house at night. I don't know why, but I just do. When I get there, it's almost 3. What if Edward is not here? What if he thinks I'm crazy for turning up here this late? I get rid of my self-doubt and go to the door. I don't even have the keys to the door. I will probably be driving back to the city this night, and I will be a mess tomorrow. I'm already getting sleepy. When I come to the door, it opens. It seems it was not closed. I get inside and start saying, "Hello? Edward? Anybody home? If you have a weapon, then shoot." And then I start laughing at my own joke. I'm kind of scared. This house scares me, and I don't even know why I came here. I'm still getting used to it. And now I'm not even sure if Edward is here. I get inside, call Edward, and then get to our room on the 2nd floor. Edward seems to have been here because I can see his discarded clothes by the bed placed perfectly there. So he did come here. Did he go running in the woods at night again? I ask myself. I haven't had a nice meal since I was on my feet the whole night, making sure everything went perfectly. So I decide to go to the kitchen and make myself a snack. I am making a sandwich when there is a knock on the back door. I'm startled. Who could be knocking this late? Edward would usually just invite himself in, and there are no neighbors for miles. Did someone get lost in the woods and then come by the house? Maybe. Another knock again, and this time someone says, "Edward?" It's a female voice. It surprises me. She knows the owner of the house. I walk towards the door and open it. I am met with this beautiful, enigmatic woman standing at the door. She is a beautiful, naked woman. She has this luscious, dark, black hair that is very tall, that covers her naked breasts in the front. And she has this enigmatic, fox-like, sharp eyes. She just looks magical. And she is standing there in front of me, naked, not a piece of clothing in sight. I look at her in surprise, and she stares back. "Hi," I say to the woman. She looks at me with pure hatred and disdain, like she's not the one standing in front of me naked right now. Is she okay in the head? Are you lost? Are you okay? Can I help you? I continue, unsure of what else to say. Maybe she got lost in the woods and she needs help, although she doesn't look it. She pushes me aside and invites herself into the room. "Is Edward here?" she pointedly asks me. "He is." Before I finish my sentence, I stop myself. "Who are you?" I ask her. She sniffs the air and then looks back at me and says, "Well, he didn't come back here. When he comes back, tell him Elena was here." And then, with a dismissive flick of her hair, she turns and walks out the door, heading towards the forest. I stand there, watching her walk without a care in the world, her figure gradually disappearing into the trees. The night is eerily quiet, the only sound being the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Doesn't she feel cold? How can she walk into the forest in her naked state? The whole thing took less than 5 minutes, but it left me with questions and wonder. What the hell is going on? I can't help remembering when Edward went for a run the other day naked, and now this woman showing up on the doorstep naked. Is Edward cheating on me? No, it's just Edward himself. He can't be, but he can. Do I really know him that long to be sure? I haven't met his family or any of his friends. I am tired, hungry, and just exhausted. I decide to take the food with me and go eat it upstairs. I'm going to bathe, have a snack, and go to bed. I hope by morning Edward will be here, and the two of us can talk about whatever is going on. I have just drifted off to sleep when I feel someone getting into bed and hugging me. I turn around, grudgingly, thinking it's Edward, and I am relieved it is indeed him, as he kisses my ear and whispers softly, "I'm glad you're here. I want to start questioning him, but I am too tired, so I let myself sleep in his arms, feeling loved and protected. When I wake up the next day, of course, Edward is not lying next to me. He's probably already left for the office. It was a long day yesterday, and I think I'm going to go late to work today. So it's a surprise when Edward comes in with breakfast in bed. "Good morning, sweetie." He greets me with a smile. I can't help myself smiling back brightly at him. "Good morning, baby. What's this?" I ask him. "Well, for the hard work you did yesterday, I thought you deserved to be pampered." "You know I do. Did you like it, though? Honestly, not just because I'm boning you," I joke. "Of course, it was a very good party, and everybody enjoyed it. You did a good job. I wouldn't lie to you. And I wouldn't have given you the job either if I didn't believe in you." "Thank you, baby. That means a lot," I say, deciding to let us have this moment before I ask about the woman from last night. We're in the middle of breakfast when Edward keeps glancing at me, shooting me awkward glances like he thinks I don't see him, although he is not being very subtle about it. "What?" I finally ask. "I don't know. You just seem to have a lot on your mind. You don't seem to be okay. Is everything all right?" "Well, I did want to ask you about something, but I think we should finish breakfast first." "Well, you have already started, so we might just get on with it and have it. You get done with it before we continue having this delicious meal that I prepared by myself." "No, you didn't." "Of course I did." I'm sure somebody cooked it. You just took it and brought it upstairs." "No, I cooked it, I promise." "Okay, I'll believe it when I see it. When I see you actually cooking, then I'll believe it." "Okay, but what's this thing you wanted to talk about?" I take a deep breath, searching for the right way to ask. I really don't know how to ask you this." "It's fine. Just ask me any way you think. Just start anywhere." "All right, then. First, I'm really mad that you left me at the event yesterday without even saying goodbye or saying anything to me. I don't like the way you keep giving Kelvin instructions about me, like I'm a chore he's supposed to tick off his pad." "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you felt that way." "Yes, I really don't like it. If you want to say something, you tell me. You don't tell your assistant to come and tell me. It's really annoying. It's like he's ordering me around. I don't like it." "Okay, I understand. It won't happen again, baby. I promise. So was that it?" "No, Edward, that's not all of it. I decided to come here by myself in the middle of the night, and when I got here, a woman, a naked woman, might I add, knocked on your door." I paused, watching Edward's reaction. He looked taken aback, then confused, as if calculating things in his head. "Okay, and then what happened?" he asked, nodding for me to continue. "I opened the door, and she was standing there, naked. This is weird because she seemed familiar with the place in the house. She invited herself into the house, and then asked for you. I told her you were not around. She left with a message." "What kind of a message?" Edward asked, now looking more alert. "She just told me to tell you that Elena was here." "Elena," Edward said through clenched teeth. "I should have known. Why, what's wrong? Who is she? Is she your girlfriend?" No, 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 no. Why would you think she's my girlfriend? I told you I don't have a girlfriend. I mean, I do have a girlfriend. You're my girlfriend," he said, trying to soften me up. "You're not seeing her? If you're not seeing anyone else, why would she come to your house naked? Is she your ex-girlfriend or something?" Edward took a deep breath, clearly frustrated but trying to stay calm. "Elena is not my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend. We are not together, never have been. It's complicated." "If you're not seeing her and you have never been with her, what's complicated about that?" I ask, feeling a mix of frustration and confusion. "It's just... Look, It's hard for me to explain, but in simpler terms, it's like my parents and her parents had this ridiculous agreement years ago. They were expecting me to marry her." My heart nearly explodes for various reasons. The first is that it looks like Edward's life is already set with a woman his parents want him to be with. On the other side, Elena is gorgeous. She is beautiful. She has this body, this look, the way she carries herself. I don't think I can compete with that. "So you're saying there's an expectation for you to marry her?" I ask, my voice trembling. "Yes, but it's not what I want. It's not what I've ever wanted. I love you, Ruby. I chose you. Elena is. I can't believe this," I say in exasperation. "So, is this some old rich men signing a marriage contract for you to get married kind of thing?" "Yeah, kind of," Edward admits. "But I'm my own man, and I'm not going to marry her. So just cool down and let's forget about it. We can just forget about it. It's not going to happen." "That's why I didn't want to bring this up now," I respond, pushing my plate away. I can't continue having this breakfast now. I've lost my appetite. Edward reaches out, trying to take my hand, but I pull away. Ruby, please. I know it's complicated and unfair, but I need you to trust me. Elena doesn't mean anything to me, and you're my future. I love you. I stand up, feeling a mix of anger and sadness. I need some time to think, Edward. This is a lot to process. I'm going for a walk. Before he can respond, I walk out of the room, needing space to clear my head and figure out the massive rock he just dropped on me. Edward finds me outside the house, looking at the faraway trees. Are you still upset? He asks. No, I reply. I guess I was just not expecting it. That's why I reacted that way. It was in shock. I mean, she was here, she was naked, and then you guys. Don't think about it, okay? Edward says, his voice firm. That's the last thing I want you to think about. There is nothing between us, never has been. You're right. I shouldn't think about it. Don't worry, I'll talk to Elena. She won't come here ever again. Okay, I answer, then remember her disappearing into the trees. Does she live around here? I ask Edward. Who? He asks, feigning ignorance. Elena. She came here in her naked state and left through the woods, just like you do whenever you go running through the woods. Is her house nearby? I can't imagine her walking around naked with the weather and everything. I trail off. Edward looks like he wants to say something, but then shrugs. I don't know. It was probably a ploy to try and break us up. She probably left her clothes in the woods. Maybe, I answer back, still feeling uneasy. The image of Elena walking away naked into the woods lingers in my mind. Something about Edward's explanation doesn't quite add up, but I decide to let it go for now. As we stand there in silence, I feel Edward's arms wrap around me. I promise, Ruby, you're the one I want. Not her, not anyone else. Just you. I lean into him, hoping that our love can weather these unexpected storms. Okay, I whisper, I believe you. Things are back to normal, or as normal as they could be. We are officially living together, and my very own company is in the Starlight Building. We go to work together and come back home together. Amid all this bliss and love, there is still one thing that I haven't been clear or happy about: his late-night running routine. At least once a month, he just doesn't come back home, or he says he has to go somewhere, a business meeting, a trip I can't come along. This screams Elena in my ears. So when he tells me he's going for his evening run, I decide to broach the subject. Do you mind if I come with you? I ask him. He is still preparing himself, choosing clothes for running, when he comes back towards me. Come with me where? He asks, holding my gaze. To your late-night running, I answer, trying to sound unbothered. I can see him tensing as he looks at me, trying to gauge my reaction. I never knew you were interested in running. I'm not, but you like it. I thought you would love my company. Edward looks conflicted, his eyes darting away for a moment before he responds. Ruby, it's not that I wouldn't love your company. It's just that my runs are more about clearing my head. It's my alone time. And you have never been running before. I will have to think about you instead of doing my own thing. I take a deep breath, trying to keep my voice steady. I understand that, Edward, but I just feel like you're hiding something from me. If it's just running, why can't I come along? We can talk or not talk, whatever you prefer. I just want to be part of this aspect of your life. Maybe I will enjoy it so much that it will become our routine. He sighs and sits down, pulling me close. Ruby, it's complicated. There are things about me and my life that I haven't fully explained yet. It's not that I don't want you with me, it's that I'm trying to protect you. Protect me from what? I ask, my heart pounding. Is this about Elena? His jaw tightens. No, it's not about Elena. I told you she's not a part of my life. This is about me, and something that I've been trying to manage on my own. I promise I will tell you one day when you're ready, okay? Just not now. I don't know, Edward. I just feel like you're keeping a lot from me. We have been dating for months now. I haven't met your family and I haven't met any of your friends except for Leo, and it's not like we really met. You have met my friends, at least. I know you haven't. I haven't met your parents either, Edward says. Yes, and I was waiting for us to be more serious before I introduced you. How much more serious are you hoping we could get? Just more serious until I introduce you to them. Yeah, but at least you have met my friends, which is more than I can say for you, you know? It's like you're putting walls up, assigning me to a specific area of your life. Maybe I'm just being... No. I don't want you to doubt yourself. Do you want to meet my friends? Fine. Maybe next week we can prepare dinner and I can have my friends over. Is that okay with you? Fine. Okay, can I go on my run now, please? All right, go. Edward gives me a quick kiss and heads out the door south, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I watch him disappear into the night, a knot of uncertainty tightening in my stomach. Despite his reassurances, I feel like he agreed to ask his friends over as a tactic to placate me. I can't shake the feeling that there's something he's hiding. It's the night we're hosting the dinner party for Edward's friends. He already told me earlier that Leo and another one of his friends, Fabian, would be coming with his girlfriend to join us. I'm excited and a little nervous to meet Edward's friends for the first time. Of course, when I said I was going to prepare dinner, Edward refused and said that Margaret was going to take care of it. I knew that Margaret did not want me anywhere near her kitchen, so I didn't fight him on that. I'm still new here and I just moved in. It's not my house. Edward and I are just dating after all. I put on the beautiful black dress that Edward gifted me for tonight, styled my hair, and put on a little makeup. Edward is wearing his navy long-sleeved shirt and black jeans. When I stand in front of the mirror to look at myself, he comes behind me, puts his hands on my shoulders, and kisses my neck as we both look at our reflection. We look good. We look good together standing like this, and I can't help but turn my head towards him and kiss him. He kisses me back, and before things get further, there is a knock on the door. Edward goes to get it. There's a low murmur, and then he comes back and says, "They're here. Let's go greet our guests." I smile back as he takes my hand and we go down the stairs. We find Leo with his signature rock band look and Fabian, who I have never seen before, standing next to a stunning red-haired woman. Edward takes my hand and goes to introduce me to our guests. "Leo, I think you two have already met." "Yes, we did at the Starlight Party," he says with a wink. "Yeah, I remember you too, Leo," I say as we shake hands. Then Edward turns to the grumpy-looking man beside Leo. "And this is Fabian." "Hello, Fabian. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you before," I say. "Yes," he replies with his throaty voice, "but I've heard a lot about you." I smile and look at Edward. "I hope all good." "Of course, all good," Fabian assures me. Fabian then gestures to the stunning red-haired woman beside him. "And this is my girlfriend, Charlotte." "Oh, hi, Charlotte," I greet her. Charlotte is a hugger. She comes straight toward me and wraps me in a warm embrace. "Hello, Ruby. I'm so happy to meet you. I'm super excited to see the woman who has finally captured Edward's heart." I smile back at her. "I guess I'm the lucky one." "Of course you are. Oh my God, you're so beautiful," she gushes, and I smile back. She looks charming and talkative. It won't be hard to talk to her. The five of us start heading toward the house, with the men in front and us ladies behind. Charlotte keeps talking excitedly about how she's thrilled to meet me and everything about her day. Her chatter is pleasant, making me feel more at ease. The evening feels like it's off to a promising start. After dinner, we all head out to the backyard. It's calm, with a gentle breeze, making it the perfect place to relax and chat. Edward and I sit together on a love seat, Fabian and Charlotte occupy another, and Leo, being the only single person tonight, lounges by himself on a recliner. "So how do you guys know each other?" I ask. Leo is the first to respond. "Well, we kind of grew up together. We were, I guess, neighbors, and these two couldn't help but be close to me," he says with a joking tone. Fabian grunts in amusement, and Edward adds, "Yeah, this little shit used to follow us everywhere, and in the end, he was just included in our little tight-knit group, I guess." Charlotte laughs. "So you were the tag-along, Leo?" "Pretty much," Leo replies, grinning. "But they couldn't get rid of me, and now they're stuck with me for life." "So you're childhood friends?" I ask. "Yes, we are, and we're still friends," Fabian replies. "Oh, that's so great. I wish I was still in touch with my childhood friends," I say wistfully. Leo interjects, "Yeah, maybe you could introduce me to some of your friends. You never know, I might fall in love with one." Edward shakes his head. "Don't even dare. Leo is a playboy." "I get that with the whole bad boy look going on," I say with a smile. Leo grins. "Oh, do you find me attractive?" Edward growls softly. "Stop it, Leo. Don't flirt with my girlfriend." "My bad," Leo says, raising his hands in mock surrender. But it's really nice to see you whipped, man, Leo jokes, and I blush. Overall, it's a great evening. Leo and Edward share interesting stories about their childhood, and Edward gets back at Fabian by recounting some of his childhood escapades to Charlotte. By the time they leave, the air is filled with laughter and camaraderie. When everyone has left, I let Edward continue with his late-night runs, choosing not to question him further. Everything has been going so well between us, and I don't want to disrupt our newfound harmony. We are happy, and I intend to keep it that way. However, my peace is shattered 2 nights later when Edward comes home covered in blood, with slash marks on his neck and arm. I know he wasn't expecting me to be awake. I don't even know why I was awake myself, but I had woken up with an unsettling feeling and decided to have some tea while waiting for him. As I sit there, sipping my tea, Edward comes in through the back door. The sight of blood and the deep scratches on his neck and arm fills me with fear and worry. I run towards him, my heart pounding in my chest. "What happened? Are you okay? Oh my gosh, we need to go to the hospital," I exclaim, panicking. Edward holds up a hand, trying to calm me. No, it's fine. I'm okay, really. It looks worse than it is. "You're bleeding, Edward. This is serious," I say, my voice shaking. "What happened?" He takes a deep breath, his eyes avoiding mine. It was an accident. I ran into some trouble while I was out." "Trouble? What kind of trouble? Who did this to you?" I press, unable to hide my concern. "It's complicated, Ruby, but I promise it's not as bad as it looks," he says, his voice soothing but firm. "Just let me clean up and we'll talk, okay?" "No, what are you talking about? Just clean up? Are you serious right now?" "You need medical attention," I insist, trying to touch his arm to examine the scratches. They look deep and angry. "Were you attacked by a bear or some animal in the woods?" "I told you it's not safe out there, but you don't listen to me. Look what happened." Edward gently takes my hands and tries to calm me down. "Ruby, calm down. I told you it's fine and everything is going to be okay. Just let me clean up. I'll put some medicine on it and it will be okay." "Medicine? You need to get checked up. What if this is—" I start to argue, but he stops me. "Look, Ruby, this is not my first time. Sometimes it happens," he says, trying to reassure me. "What?" I ask, bewildered. "Just let me clean up. Why don't you—" "Sit down first. You look like you're about to faint. Why are you still up at this hour?" "I woke up. I wasn't feeling well. When I saw that you weren't back yet, I decided to wait for you to come back," I explain, my voice still shaky. "Okay, just sit here. I'll be right back. Let me take a shower, put some medicine on, and it will be better before you know it." "Do you need some help?" I offer, about to follow him, but he turns back towards me. "No, it's going to be fine. As I told you, this isn't my first time. Everything is going to be okay," he insists. I watch him disappear down the hallway, my heart pounding with worry and confusion. How can he be so calm about this? What kind of life does he lead that he can brush off such serious injuries so easily? I sit down, my mind racing with questions and fears. Despite his reassurances, I can't help but feel that something is terribly wrong. A few minutes later, although it feels like hours, Edward comes back. He's wearing a long-sleeved t-shirt and a jacket, clearly put on to hide the scratches on his neck. I'm a bit mad at him and don't engage, letting him break the silence. He prepares his own tea and then sits next to me, but my tea has already gone cold as I wait for him to return. He takes my hand and I reluctantly let him. "Stop worrying," he says softly. I turn towards him. "How can you expect me not to worry when you come home, bleeding with scratch marks? Would you stop worrying if I came home in the same condition? The woods seem dangerous. You shouldn't go on runs there anymore. It's a good thing you're dressed this time. What if you went running while naked like you used to? It's not safe there. I heard howling. Are there wolves in the forest?" He looks at me with an alarming look in his eyes. "Yeah, there are a few wolves, but they're so far away. They don't like being around people. They stay in their corner and we stay in ours." "Edward, this isn't normal," I insist. "You could have been seriously hurt or worse. Please, for my sake, stop these late-night runs." He sighs, looking away for a moment before meeting my eyes again. "I know it seems dangerous, but it's something I need to do. It's a part of who I am." "A part of who you are," I echo, confused and frustrated. "What does that even mean? You're keeping something from me, Edward. I can feel it." Edward looks down, his grip on my hand tightening slightly. I can't explain everything right now, Ruby, but you have to trust me. I promise I'm not doing anything to put myself in unnecessary danger. Trust you? I say, my voice shaking. How can I trust you when you won't tell me what's really going on? He closes his eyes briefly as if gathering his thoughts. Ruby, there's a lot you don't know about me, but I'm asking you to trust me because I love you. I promise I'll tell you everything soon. Just give me a little more time. I don't know if I can give you more time, Edward, I say, my voice wavering. I'm in love with you, and I feel like I'm falling for a person I don't really know. Someone who's keeping secrets from me. My parents are coming into the city, and I wanted to introduce you to them, but now I don't think it's the right move. Edward's face pales slightly, and he grasps my hands tightly. No, Ruby, why are you second-guessing this? You know that I love you, okay? I don't want you to ever doubt that. I promise I'll tell you everything when the time is right. Just trust me, please. I take a deep breath, about to respond, but he pulls me into his arms, gently stroking my back. I'm surprised he doesn't seem to feel any pain from the marks he had when he came home, but I feel safe in his embrace. Deciding to let it go for now, I nod. Should we go upstairs and sleep now? I'll protect you, he tells me softly. I stare at him, searching his face for any sign of deception. Okay, I finally say, my voice barely above a whisper. But please, be careful. I don't want to lose you. Edward leans in and kisses my forehead. You won't lose me, I promise. I nod, feeling a mix of relief and lingering worry. Okay. He smiles slightly, though there's a hint of sadness in his eyes. Thank you. We sit there in silence for a while, his hand in mine, both of us lost in our thoughts. As we climb the stairs, I glance back at him, wondering what secrets he's hiding. But for now, I'll let myself find comfort in his presence, hoping that he'll trust me enough to finally tell me the truth. The next morning, I woke up feeling a change in the atmosphere of the house. Edward isn't beside me, so I go through my morning routine. As I'm getting ready, I hear raised voices coming from downstairs. They grow louder and more intense, suggesting an argument. Frowning, I leave the room and head towards the stairs. The voices get even louder, and it sounds like a heated confrontation. When I reach the top of the stairs, I look down to see a group of men, 8 by my quick count, standing in the foyer. They look imposing, almost feral, and I notice 2 women among them. One of them is Elena, unmistakably, and the other is an older woman holding Elena's hand. Edward stands facing them, head-on and unafraid, though there's a glint of intimidation in his eyes. It looks like a standoff. Fear grips me as I recall the state Edward came home in last night, and now waking up to find these strange men in the house. I stay frozen at the top of the stairs, unsure whether to call out or remain hidden. Edward glances up and spots me. Ruby? Stay up there, he says firmly but gently. The men turn to look at me, their gazes predatory, and I instinctively take a step back. What's going on? I manage to ask, my voice shaky. Just stay there, I'll handle this, Edward responds, his voice reassuring but strained. Elena's knowing, victorious smile makes me feel like I'm on the outside of a secret loop. The woman beside her regards me with disdain, as though I'm nothing but an insignificant fly, unworthy of her attention. Her focus returns to Edward. It's time. You have to fulfill your duties. You know why we're here. And you know. Not here, Edward grunts angrily. Edward glances at me again, determination and fear in his eyes. Go back upstairs, Ruby. Please, his voice commanding. I hesitate, not wanting to leave him alone in this dangerous situation, but the urgency in his voice convinces me. Reluctantly, I turn and retreat back to our room, my heart pounding. As I close the door behind me, I hear the voices continue, muffled but still intense. I lean against the door, trying to understand what's happening, and fearing what might come next. As I return to our room, fear and anxiety grip me, causing me to tremble uncontrollably. I wrap my arms around myself, trying to soothe the quivering. Am I in danger? Is Edward in danger? What's happening? This situation is a complete mess. What have I gotten myself into? Should I intervene? I'm torn, unable to decide. I sit down, but the restlessness is unbearable. I stand up again, feeling tortured by the unknown, waiting for Edward to return to the bedroom. What feels like hours later, Edward enters the bedroom. He avoids meeting my eyes, his movements slow and cautious, as if he's trying to anticipate my reaction. I can't handle this uncertainty, whatever it is he's hiding. What's going on, Edward? Who were those people? Are we in danger? Does this have something to do with what happened to you yesterday? Do we need to leave? I fire off questions, but Edward remains silent, just watching me intently. Edward, I'm talking to you. Please say something. I plead with him, but he continues to stare at me, a predatory glint in his eyes, leaving me feeling vulnerable and scared. Am I in danger? Does this involve me? I ask directly, my voice trembling with fear. No. No, he stammers, but I refuse to accept his response. Why are you stuttering? I press, my voice growing more desperate. Look, Ruby, it has nothing to do with you. It's me and my dealings, my business. It has nothing to do with you. He finally responds, but his explanation only fuels my anxiety. Your dealings? Your business? What are you involved with? Are you mixed up in something illegal? I demand, fear rising inside me and turning to anger. No. Why would you think that? Of course not. I'm not involved in anything illegal, Edward responds, attempting to reassure me. Then what do you mean when you say it's your business? I press. Okay, Ruby, I need you to calm down, Edward insists. I am calm. I shoot back. No, you're not calm, he counters. Look, I know it's strange for you to just see people here, but those are family friends. They are neighbors and friends. They are good people, okay? You just read the situation wrong because of what happened yesterday night, but there is no danger here. Then why did you tell me to go back to the room? Why did you tell me to go back upstairs? I question. Because these are country folks. They don't like people to just show up, okay? They don't like outsiders knowing about their business. Look, oh God, Ruby, can you just sit down so we can talk and stop creating whatever it is you're creating in your head? Let us sit down and talk like adults, like for 1 second, Edward shouts, his frustration evident, and that seems to be the slap I needed to get me back to reality. So everything is okay? Everything is fine? I ask, seeking confirmation. Just sit down, will you? Edward requests. Okay, I answer as I take a seat on the bed. So who are they? What do they want? I inquire, still feeling uneasy. Look, those are people who live in this town, okay? This is like a village town, and they're just neighbors. They are just concerned about something in the council because I'm in the council. As you can see, they're country folks, and there are just things we need to discuss. It has nothing to do with you, Edward explains. Are you sure? I press. Yes, he answers firmly. But it looked like you two were at odds with each other, I observe. We just clashed on something we didn't agree on, Edward dismisses. But what about Elena? She was down there. I saw her. Does she live around here? What was she doing here? I press Edward further. Edward grinds his teeth together and he takes a moment before responding. Yeah, she lives around here. We are from the same town. I told you our parents know each other, so it's like the girl next door, although it's farther away. His vague response only adds to my confusion. Something isn't right, and I can't shake off the feeling. Edward, please, I need to know what's going on, I plead, desperation creeping into my voice. He sighs heavily, clearly struggling with his words. Look, Ruby, I know this is all very confusing, but please trust me when I say it's not something you need to worry about. His attempt to reassure me falls short, and I can't help but feel like there's more. But for now, I nod, reluctantly. Okay, I reply, trying to mask the uncertainty in my voice. I'll trust you. Edward's expression softens, and he reaches out to take my hand. Thank you, Ruby. There is nothing to worry about, he says, but I can tell something is obviously wrong. Although Edward insists that everything is fine, his demeanor tells a different story. Throughout the day, he appears distracted and preoccupied, his mind seemingly elsewhere. Sensing his mood change, I decide not to push the issue, knowing that our conversations often end in arguments. As dusk begins to settle, Edward abruptly heads outside, his expression determined and intense. Unsure of what to make of his sudden change, I watch him from the bedroom window, hidden from view. He disappears into the woods. After a few minutes, Edward returns, his demeanor even more persistent. He calls my name, his voice urgent. Hey, Ruby, Ruby. I emerge from the bathroom, where I went into when I spied him coming back from the woods, a sense of nervousness creeping over me. Yes, I respond, trying to mask my feelings. I need you to pack your things. We should go back to the city, Edward says, his tone leaving no room for argument. Now? But why? I ask, confused. Yes, now, come on, hurry up. I want to leave before it gets dark, he insists, a sense of urgency in his voice. My mind races with questions, but I can see that Edward is not in the mood for explanations. Reluctantly, I begin to pack my belongings, my heart heavy with worry and uncertainty. What could possibly be happening that requires us to leave so abruptly? Does it have to do with his visit to the woods? As I hurriedly pack my belongings, a wave of uncertainty washes over me. Is there more to Edward than he's letting on? Could my suspicions about illegal activities be justified? Are we in danger? The questions swirl in my mind, but I refrain from voicing my concerns. Instead, I pack everything I own and need, a nagging feeling telling me that returning to this house might not be an option. I'm sorry that this happened so suddenly, Edward tells me, as he helps me with my bags down the stairs with Manuel, helping him take them into the car. Martha stands at the door, shooting daggers at me, glaring at me like I have done something wrong, and I almost feel like this is all my fault and she's blaming me for it. What could I have done? I haven't done anything. This is very confusing, and since Edward doesn't want to tell me anything, I am at a crossroads. But I choose to do what he wants. He wants us to leave, and I will leave, but I'm not going back into his apartment to continue living with him. Unless he decides to come clean with me, I'm going back to my place. I don't want to get mixed up in whatever it is that's going on here. Yes, I do. I am in love with him, but I don't want to get myself mixed up in something. I'm not prepared for something I never expected. When we step out of the car, Edward's assistant, Kelvin, and the concierge are waiting to assist with the bags. As the concierge moves to take my bags towards their apartment, I intervene, stopping him in his tracks. Leave those, I instruct firmly, earning a frown from Edward. Why? He questions. Because I'm going back to my place, I respond. Why? He persists. After everything that's happened, I think I need to be alone for a little while, I explain. Edward furrows his brow, glancing at me, then at the concierge, and finally at our surroundings before fixing his gaze back on me. Do you really want to discuss this out here like this? He asks. I don't want to fight with you, Edward. I just need some time to rest and be by myself for a while, I reply softly. Okay, I'm sure you have your things at your apartment. You don't need these bags, he concedes. Although I don't like this, but I have to deal with something. Let's not fight over this, okay? I'll tell Peter to take you back to your place, and then I'll come later to see you, and we can talk about this. Fine, but don't come to talk to me if you're not ready to tell me the truth, I say as I head back towards the car, leaving my bags on his apartment entrance. Edward instructs the concierge to take the bags into the apartment, and I direct Peter to drive me back to my apartment. It's been a long time since I've been back to my apartment, and I'm so tired and worn out from everything that happened that I just decided to lie down for a bit. I woke up thinking Edward might have called me, and I didn't hear his call, but there wasn't a call or a message from him. He hasn't reached out to me. So I sit, and I order pizza, and I wait for him to come and tell me the truth about what's going on, but he never shows up. And I start to get worried. Is he in trouble because of the things that went on before we left? But then I tell myself to not call him because that will just make me look desperate and impatient. He has to be the one to come to me. I decide to wait until tomorrow when we get back to work, because then maybe he'll come to see me at the office. Gathering my resolve, I head to the office the next day. Since we both work in the same building, each moment is filled with hope that he'll appear, that he'll explain everything. I keep hoping with every knock and every shadow that it will appear to be him, but it doesn't. And as the hours tick by, my hope dies a slow death. By the time evening arrives and there's still no word from him, I make a decision. It's time to seek him out, to confront him, to demand answers. I head to his office on the top floor. Of course, when I get to his office, he's not there, and it's not shocking that Kelvin Vin is there as usual, doing his boss's bidding. Hello, Kelvin, I say with a tight smile. Hello, Ms. Reginald, he answers back nonchalantly. Is Edward in? I would like to see him. No, Mr. Edward is not available right now. Okay, where is he? He went out of the city for a while. Oh, so he's traveled? I'm afraid so, Miss Reginald. I sit there contemplating, and then I say, okay, fine. If that will be all, he says with a tight smile. I have a feeling that Edward's workers don't like me, including his assistant Kelvin. So I turn back around and leave, heading back home. Did Edward travel? Why didn't he say anything to me? Not even goodbye? What's going on? When I get home, the first thing I do is call Edward, but his phone is unavailable, not reachable. I try again and again and again with the same results. When I wake up, I try reaching him again, but of course he's not reachable again. I contemplate calling Kelvin, but I remember the way he looked at me last night, and the last thing I want to do is have a conversation with him again. I go to work, and I keep trying him, but as the day ends, he's still not reachable. I'm sure there's a way he communicates with Kelvin and everyone. Why doesn't that include me? Is there a special number I should have had that I don't have? Is this our end? Was an ultimatum too much for him? I mean, he is a billionaire. There are countless women who want to be with him. Maybe I just became too much for him, and he is letting me go down easy. But then it doesn't make any sense. He bought me a company. He gave me free office space in his building. If he wasn't looking to make a real connection with me, why did he bring me so close to him? I really hope nothing has happened to him. I didn't lie when I said that I thought I loved him. I am falling in love with a man who has too many secrets. I just hope he comes back soon so we can put all of this behind us. I realize that pondering and asking myself questions isn't going to give me answers, so I keep on moving. The first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth, the fifth, and before I know it, it's been a whole week without a word from Edward. And just when I think I'm never going to hear from him again, I come back from work. When I open the door, I'm stunned to find him sitting in my living room like he belongs here and has been here for a long time. Edward? I ask in surprise, while he looks at me with a smile. What are you doing here? I ask him, still standing at the door. How did you get in? I don't remember giving him a key to my apartment. Our relationship was all based on his space. Edward looks up at me from the couch, his smile faltering slightly as he gauges my reaction. I have my ways, he says with a hint of his usual charm, but there's a weariness in his eyes that I can't ignore. I step inside, closing the door behind me but maintaining distance. That's not an answer, Edward. Why are you here, and how did you get into my apartment? He sighs, running a hand through his hair. Ruby, I know I owe you an explanation. More than one, actually. But please, sit down. Let me try to explain. I hesitate for a moment before sitting on the edge of the armchair across from him. You have a lot of explaining to do, I say, trying to keep my voice steady despite the conflicting emotions inside me. I know, he replies softly. First, I need to apologize for disappearing on you. I had to handle some urgent matters back home. It was family business. Complicated and unavoidable. There was no way around it. Family business? I echo, skepticism lacing my words. You couldn't even send a message? I was worried sick, Edward. And when I went to your office, Kelvin said you had traveled for business. Why keep me in the dark? Edward leans forward, his expression earnest. I didn't mean to make you worry. I had to leave as soon as possible, and the situation was too sensitive to explain over the phone. But I should have found a way to let you know. I'm sorry. That's not good enough, I say, frustration bubbling to the surface. You keep saying you love me, but you keep so many secrets. How am I supposed to trust you? He reaches out, taking my hand in his. I understand why you feel that way, but I promise I'm not involved in anything illegal. The people you saw at the house, they're part of an old family council. We have traditions and responsibilities that can seem strange-el to outsiders. I pull my hand back, trying to process his words. So, what does that mean for us? Are you saying this family council business is the reason you were hurt the other night? The reason you left without letting me know? Edward nods. Yes, and I want to tell you everything, but it's complicated. There's so much you don't know, and I was trying to protect you. Protect me? I scoff. From what? From the burden of knowing too much, he replies. Edward leans forward, his eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that makes my breath catch. Listen to me, Ruby. I love you. I need to know that you believe that first. I search his face, looking for any hint of deception, but all I see is sincerity. Edward, I believe that you love me. But love isn't just about words, it's about trust and honesty, and you've been keeping so much from me. He nods, his expression serious. I know, and you're right, that's why I'm here, to make things right. But before I can explain everything, I need to know that you believe in my love for you, because without that, none of this will make sense. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of his words. I believe you love me, Edward, but believing isn't the same as understanding. I need to understand why you've been so secretive and what that means for us. Will it affect our relationship? If you love me, then it's simple. I need you to trust me, Ruby. Edward's voice is earnest, his eyes pleading. I know it doesn't make sense now, but it will. Just know that I'm not doing anything illegal, and I'm not cheating on you. This has to do with me and my family, okay? But in due time, I'll tell you everything. I stand there, the weight of his words pressing down on me. Then, if I trust you, why can't you trust me? I ask, my voice shaking with emotion. If I trust you enough to believe that whatever is going on doesn't have anything to do with us, then why can't you trust me enough to tell me so there won't be any secrets between us? He looks at me, frustration and sorrow mingling in his gaze. It's not as simple as you think, Ruby. Right now, I'm just hoping you can trust me on that. But how am I supposed to trust you when you keep pushing me away? My voice rises, unable to hold back the flood of emotions. Every time I think we're getting closer, you put up another wall. I need to know what's going on, Edward. I need to understand. Edward takes a deep breath, stepping closer to me. I want to tell you, Ruby. Believe me, I do. But there are things at play that are bigger than us, bigger than you can imagine, and if I tell you now, it could put you in danger. I shake my head, tears welling up in my eyes. Danger? What kind of danger, Edward? You keep saying you want to protect me, but how am I supposed to feel safe when I don't know what's out there? His expression softens, and he reaches out to gently touch my face. I know, Ruby. I know this is hard. But I need you to trust that I'm doing this for us, for our future. Just give me some time to sort things out, and I promise I'll tell you everything. I close my eyes, leaning into his touch, trying to steady my racing thoughts. Okay, I whisper, my voice barely audible. I'll trust you, but you need to understand how hard this is for me. I'm falling in love with you, Edward, and I can't shake the feeling that you're keeping a part of yourself away from me. I understand, he says softly, pulling me into his arms. And I love you, Ruby, more than you know. I'll make this right. Just hold on a little longer.